to be the best that I could be and make it to the NFL, and he saw that in me. And, he definitely saw the hunger that I had to actually get to the NFL, and that's where he was able to help me out.
Now, I told you the part that stuck out to me, the fact that, unlike most of these guys that talk about the fact that they can make it, you actually made it. What sticks out to you, though, and what makes you different from all those other people that talk about how they can make it to that level, that they have the talent? What makes you stick out, at least to yourself?
Stubbornness, man. Everybody's like, oh, well, the percentages are that, and then you come from a small school, but hey, man, you got to be stubborn. You got to go for what you want. You just got to be a go-getter and reach your goals, man. If you got a plan A, stick to that plan A and go for it and get it, man. There's no plan B. So that's what helped me.
Well, you said you graduated in 2004,
right.
So it's been 6 long years of you working hard. Have you ever thought about doing something else? Has your mind ever wandered from this NFL dream, or have you always thought, I'm going to make it, I'm going to make it?
Right, man. I actually, I had my degree in criminal justice from Shippensburg University. Tried Secret Service, county police, man, but God just kept placing football back into my lap, man. I ended up playing with the arena football.
What does that just mean? He didn't trust you as a police officer?
Right. I don't think I can make it. But, yeah, man, hey, I got the talent for football, and, I just kept going at it, man, and here I am.
We'll talk about the training some and just what goes into making an NFL player and just the progress you've made in terms of your physique and your measurables and the bench press and all that stuff, and just what you've done to work to get to that level now and put yourself in a position to be successful.
All right, wow. Coming out of Shippensburg, 255. Slow, maybe a 5
you
flat
could say
40.
A fat 255.
Right, exactly. So, I got pictures. But yeah.
Yeah, everyone check out Joel on Facebook.
Yeah, 255 coming out of Shippensburg. I wasn't solid. I got in the weight room after graduating, on my own pretty much. And I was a trainer and, pretty much started trying to chisel my body up. But it was a bodybuilder type body. Got up to 275, I think it was, and I finally met Troy Jones, which is the trainer out at TZ Sports. Man, I had a workout with the Cowboys, so actually they were recruiting me as well. And he got me down to about 255, back to where I was at Shippensburg, but I was solid, faster, stronger. He got my 40 down from a 483 to a 465, I think it is, and
the bench press too. Man, you told me you got it up over 100 pounds from where it was.
Right. I was benching maybe 315, maybe like 3 times, and now I'm benching 425. So it's definitely been a blessing.
Bad.
Yeah, man.
And the squat too. Okay. What's your squat now?
About 600.
And what was it before?
Maybe like 5 at the most.
Okay, so for all the people listening that aren't even football fans right now, wondering how to get their bench press and squat up over 100 pounds, how'd you do it?
Hey, man, TZ Sports, Troy Jones, man, he's a great trainer. Like I said, he worked on our agility. He puts together programs for you as well as, your meal plan. So he's definitely a good guy, man, and I definitely recommend him.
Well, talking about that workout schedule, how often, you work out every day? How many hours?
Every day, except for the weekend. Sundays off.
Sundays off. Well, how many hours a day do you
for about 2-3 hours a day, and also help out with the kids that come in as well.
That's
so
right. Cardio as well. And
cardio is pretty much every day. Yeah. With being an NFL player, you got to be able to be in top shape. Right. Be running every day. Actually that the experience going up there, to Philadelphia, I was kind of in shock because we ran every day. I had a special teams practice. Lasted maybe 50 minutes before Donovan McNabb even came out the building. So, it was definitely an eye-opener, and you got to be in tip-top shape, man.
Matt Zenitz, Nick Berger, and Joe Gamble filling in today for Stan the Fan on Pressbox Power Lunch. Joe, what was the most humbling experience? What was the biggest time, or I guess the thing that sticks out to you when you got to Philadelphia? What memory do you have that you really just felt like I made it? I'm finally on this level. I made it after all this work.
Just pulling up to the Eagles facility, man, and being able to go in there and say, hey, man, this is my job. This is what I do for a living. Not too many people to get that opportunity to do that. So I was definitely blessed in that case, and then standing next to, guys that I played on a video game, Donovan McNabb. I'm catching passes from the guy now, so it's definitely a good opportunity, and, I thank God for that.
What's Donovan like? You hear so much criticism and
Great
all this
guy.
stuff over the last 11 years.
Right.
I feel like, and this is just my personal opinion, Now that Donovan has gone on from Washington, Philadelphia has gone from being, once again, in my mind, the favorite in the NFC East to being maybe the bottom dweller in that division, especially with the rest of the talent in there, with the Cowboys, the Giants, and then, of course, the Redskins, who acquired Donovan, and now I think will go from being, what were they last year, 4-12, to, I think, the NFC East champion and then an eventual Super Bowl contender, all because of that one trade. Do you think, from seeing Donovan firsthand, is he that much of a difference maker?
Donovan's a good guy, man. He's a great quarterback, man. Even in practice, man, I don't think, I seen one bad pass from him. So people don't realize, he's a great talent, great guy, even though everything that may go on with him, he stays humble. He's a good guy and good tutelage to learn under. I'm sure Kevin Cobb and Mike Vick has been blessed from that, being able to be under Donovan's wing and, to be able to learn from him. So, he's a good guy, and I'm sure he'll do great in Washington, man.
So what about Kevin? I've heard the comparisons to Aaron Rodgers, and I'm sure Philadelphia has to have some kind of confidence in him to let Donovan leave like that. So you caught passes from Kevin. Is he a quarterback that can not only supplant Donovan, but keep Philadelphia competitive in the NFC East and help them compete for what they're looking for, which is a Super Bowl?
All right. Well, I'll say he's a very accurate quarterback, great talent, and people will be surprised this year. He'll definitely come out and be a surprise and do well, I would say.
So what's the biggest thing that he showed you guys in practice that we haven't seen yet, just from a national standpoint? And just, obviously, he had limited action. He only started 2 games last year. So what's the biggest thing that we haven't seen yet that he'll do to surprise us this year?
I would say his accuracy. He's able to fit balls in there where, you got a defender draped on your back. He can fit a ball, in close proximity. So he's a very accurate quarterback and pretty good. So he knows his stuff, and he'll be a great guy out there for the Eagles.
Well, unlike Matt, I actually think the Eagles are going to have a better year this year.
Right. I think they're going to be borderline 500 and maybe worse. I know Rico, if he's listening, won't be happy to hear that. I think Washington is hands down the favorite in that division now, even with the Cowboys on there.
I'm going to disagree. I think there's a reason why they got rid of Donovan McNabb. But anyway, I think the Eagles can. I think they'll be a solid team this year.
Right.
But I'm wondering, where you see yourself best fitting in. Is it as a tight end or is it as a fullback?
I would say tight end because I played tight end, all my life pretty much.
Right.
And my best talent is my hands. So, that's why they recruited me, seeing me catch one-handed passes, and they want me to catch passes out of the backfield. But, I could play whatever, man. I'm very talented, good athlete, and I could come out of the backfield as well. Like I said, playing arena football, that got me ready to play fullback. So.
Well, as us Raven fans here, if you ever want to come back locally, I think your best shot right now is as a fullback. So
right.
Keep working on that lead blocking.
Yeah, after that draft, right?
Yeah, exactly. But Joe, you didn't even give us your opinion. What do you think about the favorite in the NFC East? Who do you think it is at this point?
Man.
And I'm not trying to knock the Cowboys either, because the Cowboys, you look at them, they're as stacked as any team in the NFL.
Right.
Tony Romo, the running backs, the defense, they have everything you look for, but I just throw in that Donovan McNabb factor. And he may not have done it in Philadelphia, but I just have a feeling.
Man, got me sweating here, man.
Well, it's partially because it's hot in the room.
Right.
But if they keep Albert Haynesworth, I'm telling you, Washington is really a team to look out for.
Right.
And I know a lot of Ravens fans won't be happy to hear that, but in your mind, Joel, you've seen a lot of these guys up close and personal, what we don't see. In your mind, who is the favorite in the NFC East?
Right, I would have to say the Eagles, man. They very explosive offense, though, man. You got Deshaun Jackson, Jeremy Maclin, all these receivers, man. It's explosive offense, most explosive in the NFC East. Washington is very talented with the acquisition of Donovan McNabb, but I still think that our offense is going to be very explosive. So I would say the Eagles.
Okay, and I like how you still say
and also still favoritism, so
So what other teams have you talked to? I know you mentioned the Ravens.
Right.
I don't know if there's any talk about going back to Philadelphia, but what has the process been like now, and has there been any consideration at all for even the other leagues like the UFL and the CFL?
Right, of course. We've been talking, to the Eagles as well. Baltimore, been on the horn with Vince Newsom, player personnel person, and I also got to meet Eric DeCosta. Good people. But right now, after their draft, with them drafting 2 tight ends, right now Seattle is probably the front runner other than the Eagles as well. So we'll